I would consider it almost impossible to love someone else in a way that isn't destructive. That's the key piece. And people will still say, I love them, but people kill out of love. They get fired because of love. They all kinds of stuff, right?
Oh, they kill themselves sometimes because of
exactly
love, right?
same love,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So it love, because it's such a strong and powerful emotion, almost equal to hate, but on the other side of things, if you don't have that discipline, if you don't have the awareness or appreciation, it becomes very destructive.
Welcome to Connected Conversations. I am Elena Petrova, founder and CEO of Adastra Inc. Let's share the inspiring stories, strengthen our bonds, and pave the way for a brighter future, one conversation at a time. Welcome to Connected Conversation with Elena Petrova, founder and CEO of Adastra. On this podcast, we talk about communities, challenges, and the leaders that bring positive impact to our communities. And today is a very special podcast because we are just around the corner from Valentine's Day, the day of love. We celebrate love, relationship, and connections. And in today's society, at least here in the US, we are all divided about diversity, inclusion. And I can say one thing, that we might be very divided how we are going to be talking about this subject in the workplace, but here's what I think about diversity in other parts of our lives. I think diversity brings spice, color, taste in our life. I cannot imagine, as a leader of my organization, I think that the more diversity I have on my team, the fewer blind spots I have, because each team member brings understanding, background, experience from their cultures, their background, and we really drive forward with this and we become stronger. But now let's talk about love, because diversity in love is fun, and I love traveling, and every time when I go to another country, I love food, I love music, I love to dance, and there is absolutely no way to experience anything like that without diversity. I come from a former Soviet Union. I grew up in a society where my leaders, my past country, my former home, thought that they're going to create a culture where everybody is going to be the same, wearing gray clothes, speak the same language, Russian, in 15 different republics, and that failed. So today I want to talk about diversity of culture and relationship and love. And I have 3 different guests here, and they all come from different cultures and different experiences. Let me introduce them. I have Vince Brantley. He is American. Can I say black or African American?
You can say either.
Either,
yeah.
Okay. And Vince served in Army for 28 years. Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
He is a master in communication, so he was serving in special operations. Then he took all that experience that he learned there, and now he's helping leaders to communicate better, and he's coaching leaders. But one of the initiatives that he took in his past was coaching relationship coach. He will be talking about this today to you guys. I have Amparo. She is an incredible person. She's been working as an interpreter for multiple years. She also coaches cultural understanding and cultural awareness. She traveled and lived in so many countries. She'll be talking about this today. And I have Paris, who is an artist. She's a painter and tattoo artist as well. So she and all of us here, we all had different relationships. We were married, and we were married to people from different cultures. So that's going to be a topic of our conversation. Guys, do you want to introduce yourself and maybe say something that I missed?
So my, although I did quite a bit of time supporting special ops, I just wanted to make a clear distinction that I was intelligence for that time. And so as a human intelligence agent, Communication is very important. Building relationship and rapport is very important. And so building on those skills as I developed as a leader really helped to get me to where I am today as a relationship coach, as a facilitator, inspirational and motivational speaker, and so forth. So again, I just want to say thank you for the opportunity to be here. It's awesome.
Hello, everybody. My name is Amparo, like Lina mentioned, as a communication specialist and a culture specialist, I want to say, after traveling to many countries, live in many countries, not just visiting and vacay. I have to say that it's an honor for me to be here today and bring my intake on what love is about.
Okay, hi again. My name is Paris Nia. I'm Persian. I'm from Iran, different culture, and I just moved to US. Everything's here for me is new, and I'm actually very thankful. You gave me that opportunity to be here with amazing people. And okay, that's, I wish I can answer your question or anything.
Thank you, Paris.
Thank
You're
you.
very humble. You're an incredible artist. I saw
you.
your work. Thank you.
Thank you so
Guys,
much.
so let's start with the understanding what love is, right? So let's take a look at the definition of love and how it evolved, and maybe we can talk about the cultural background and how love may be viewed in our cultures. And just for those of you guys who are maybe seeing this podcast for the first time, my background, I come from Russia. I was born in St. Petersburg. So, Vince, can we start with you? Definition of love.
So if I had to put it in my own words, love is the strongest emotion, positive emotion that you can feel for another person. It exceeds adoration. For many, love's first definition is spiritual. You know, it comes from the example of, you know, whatever your God is or whoever it is you worship. That's the first introduction to love that is without limits. And so I think one of the distinguishing qualities about love, and then I'll move on to the next panel member, is that love, I guess the songwriter says, is, love will make you do, you know, what you do for love you would not do. Love often takes us out of ourselves and into a place where we wouldn't be without it. Yeah.
Love, interesting 4 letters that move mountains, right? Like Vince says, people will do for love things that we wouldn't do for anything else, I believe. Over the years, of course, what I believe that love is has evolved. Today, I center love in one of the strongest emotions that we can feel, one of the strongest and deepest feelings that you can feel. But a key item that I have learned over the years that is extremely important in order for love to be true love is that it has to be a selfless act. Love is a verb. To love is action. And I have learned over the years that it's not so much words, but action. And the action has to be selfless. In order to love, it has to be a selfless action to be true
What
love.
do you think? What do you think,
For
Paris?
me, the love, because, okay, I'm always looking for what is the love exactly. Since I was kids, I read a lot of book I love. And I was searching what is that feeling since I started work, I feel it. But still, what is that feeling coming? And sometimes I can feel it without anybody. Sometimes, okay, I'm not in the relationship, or I have a dad's love. Okay, it's love sometimes is different when you love your parents or your friends. Or for me, sometimes when I'm drawing or look at something, I feel that's exactly feeling. But I was always looking for that feeling in the relationship. And finally, I understand, no, that's feeling first coming, the feeling love with me. When I found it in myself and be peace, I don't want to feel it. It still is here. everybody can feel it, but has a different shape. Sometimes people thinking, okay, we have to feeling sparkling or heart or like that, but we always have it. We always have that feeling. And for me, love is, I'm here now. I'm here and I can talk and I can learn. This is gonna part of the love. For me, it's like that, the love meaning.
I think you're bringing very interesting concept here, because it took me all this time to arrive to where I am today, to this age, to understand that I don't think you, in my opinion, you can love somebody until you accept yourself and start loving yourself.
Yeah.
Because it all starts here. It starts with self-acceptance, self-love, and you have to fully embrace yourself and self.
Yeah.
And know what self-love is, because nobody's going to love you the way that you love yourself. Nobody's going to accept you, and until you are enough, only then you're going to start having that vibe.
Exactly.
That other people are going to be attracted to you. But to me, it just took me all this journey to arrive where I am today. What do you guys think? And that's the reason why I think this concept evolves.
Because for everybody has just like say different time to finding the meaning, real exactly what is the love. Because when I'm looking at my maybe 1 year ago, I never thought like that. Now I'm thinking or I'm feeling about what is love exactly. And exactly just like you say it, when I find the love inside of me, my friendship, my relationship, okay, not only with the partner, with myself, with my friends, with my family change, really change. And I say, oh my gosh, have to be appreciated every day. I have it just like it every day as a gift for me. Living just like a human here. And what is the love? Love is every time is since I born is with me until now and gonna stay forever.
Do you think it's universal, or do you think it changes in different cultures? And Amparo, I don't know, did we mention to our listeners here that you come from Spain, Canary Islands? That how is it viewed in that concept in your culture?
I was born and raised in the Canary Islands, Spain, and love, like Paris says, and it's so interesting because we come from places that are so far away geographically, maybe even culturally, but we are here sharing that. It took us years, and I'm on the same train, the same boat, where it's the same bus that Paris says, where the older I have gotten, the more love I see in different places. So in my culture, coming from the Canary Islands, often, I don't want to say always and everybody, but often, usually, we used to see love as an act of service, especially from mothers, from sisters, from girlfriends, from a wife's point of view. It was an act of always serve your husband, serve your brothers if you are a daughter, serve the males, right? And I was never taught to love myself. So when you said that now you find love when you're painting, right? That resonates with me because I have learned to love myself within the years before I can start loving others or serving or things like that. And I think that nowadays our younger generations have a lot more knowledge and access to information about what love really is, because people from my generation that come from what I come from were taught that love was for others, to serve others, more than to love ourselves. It was just a sacrifice, which I believe that love is sacrifice, but it's a lot more things than just that.
But is it really sacrifice? Because I think that if we are going to, if you're going to talk about or feel it as a sacrifice, then at some point we are going to start feeling, I don't know, I'm not sure about the sacrifice though, because then it's going to be it's going to bring some negative connotation.
No.
Well, I think
No,
I think one of the distinctions here is, again, for many people, and in many cultures, love is first defined almost biblically, like,
Yeah.
For God so loved the world that He gave His only begotten Son, Scripture,
Mm-hmm.
and so that level of sacrifice then becomes the first thing that you think about when you think about love. But what we've learned over time, and what life hopefully has taught us, is that you have to be able to define and manage that sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you sacrificing yourself for? Is it worthy of the sacrifice? Right? And so if we don't have a sense of that, this is worth it, then we'll sacrifice for anything. We'll fall for anyone. And so when we talk about self-love, we speak to it from three different lenses. One is self-awareness. Right? Do you know enough about yourself to love yourself? Right? What have you learned? Like, that's why it's so difficult for young love to be true love, because you don't know enough about yourself. And then what happens is, as you grow to know yourself better, you end up falling out of love. But really what you fell out of is your image of what love meant to you. Right? So self-awareness, then you have self-appreciation. So it's one thing to know things about yourself, but then you have to consider, do I value the things that I know? And what value do I place on them? Right? It's one thing to say, I'm aware that I'm kind of grumpy in the morning. How do I value that? Right? And am I willing, whatever it is let's say it's art. I love art. I know I love art. Okay. Do I value that enough to put it out front so that I'm not compromising, all my easels aren't in a closet somewhere because I'm in a relationship with a person who likes things to be kind of, do we need that mess over there in the corner? So do I appreciate it enough to fight for it? And then the final lens is through self-discipline, which is probably one of the most important things, but it is informed by self-awareness and self-appreciation. What are the decisions that I make? Okay, so I'm not going to put you before my children. I'm not going to put you before my church. I'm not going to put you before my community. Whatever it is that you value, how does that show up in your everyday decisions and in your everyday actions? And that is how you look at self-love. And if you don't have that, it is absolutely, I would consider it almost impossible to love someone else in a way that isn't destructive. That's the key piece. And people will still say, I love them. But people kill out of love. They get fired because of love. They all kinds of stuff, right?
Well, they kill themselves sometimes because of
exactly
love, right?
Same love,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So love, because it's such a strong and powerful emotion, almost equal to hate, but on the other side of things, if you don't have that discipline, if you don't have the awareness or appreciation, it becomes very destructive.
So do we go back to what we started, right? So to love someone, you really need to know yourself, know your values, and love yourself before you learn to love somebody else, right?
Exactly.
So
100%.
isn't that, I forgot who said that the biggest mastery of your life is to learn and to know yourself, because everything starts here, right? With you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm really agree because the part about the value, about the art, everything you say it. Before always I say, okay, I accept myself like that. I am like that, but I never feel comfortable with myself or feel it exactly. Okay, because of this, sometimes I look at myself. Why some people they say, okay, I'm not a morning person. And a lot of people around of me, they wake up in the morning and I cannot. When I wake up, anytime I start to just like punish myself just in my mind. And I say, yeah, and it was funny things happen for me. When I met different people, they don't know me. They exactly punish me or say some things about this part of me. Oh, you cannot, you lazy, or say some things to me. And I say, why? I attract them, or I didn't accept myself. And when I changed it exactly, I did value about my art, about, okay, this is me. Do you love this, Paris? Wake up 10 a.m., start make a coffee, lazy person, I do like that. And I say, yeah, I love it. Okay, now you can find somebody love you exactly like you are.
Precisely.
And I really feel it. And I say, okay, I don't need somebody to give it to me. I have it. I'm enjoy. Okay, I'm a person like that. I love eat my dinner 8 p.m. I love do art. Everything's be messy and after clean it. I love it, and that's be my value. When I change it, before I think, or I said, yeah, I love it. I'm doing this is me. I said no. You just say it because you scare people. They say, oh, you don't have enough confidence about yourself. But when I feel it, I don't want to show to anybody I have a confidence or I really love myself. The people can feel it.
And what I also noticed that, again, through my life and through my journey to the age where I am today, is that when I was younger, I used to look for that person, right? So first I didn't know what I was looking for. It was just an emotions. I was chasing a certain emotion, right? Then I started getting older. Then I started, writing down the characteristics of the person that I wanted to meet. And I okay, I'm going to find that person with those attributes. Now what I'm learning is that you have to become that person. Because once you become that person, so that I remember that trip that I took to Israel, and Israel is a very interesting country because you can, it's the start of many things, right? So I was going from one place to another. I was visiting all those holy spots, and I remember I came back, took my journal, sat down on the beach in the afternoon. It was a sunset, and I decided that I'm just going to make a list. So because if I ever meet that person that I want to have, so probably it should start with me. So I started writing down of what I am to become. Still working on that list, still, way to go. But the funniest thing is that once you start working on those qualities, you start attracting people. Like people started coming into my life. I don't know how it's happening, but I guess that's just it's not the law of attraction. I think it's like the law of vibration, that you start vibing with the people that are vibing on the same level, right? Yeah. So become the person that you want to have in your life, and then the same level of people will be attracted to you, which I thought very interesting experience.
And that's contagious, not just for the person that we are gonna find romantically. Me growing up, love was just all about romantic love. I don't know about you guys. I never thought about, motherly or paternal love or any other type of love for life. It was all romantic love, right? Telenovelas, right? Everybody knows what telenovelas. And that was my idea of love, right? and I think my attachment to the word sacrifice and love was so negative in a way. And nowadays I see sacrifice in a way as investment. Like I love myself, so I'm going to sacrifice, and I'm going to sleeping in the morning if I need to, because I don't have to get up at 5 in the morning every day, just because everybody do, because my body need it. Or I'm going to sacrifice, do whatever I want to do today because I need some mental health days and self-care. So for me, it's so important what Lina said a second ago, because love is something that I believe that we will forever will be working on, and we can work on that consciously. You can love more, yes, like in a conscious way. You can wake up every day saying, I'm gonna love life more today. You cannot always be happy, but I always say you can always be thankful, you can always be grateful, and you can always love more.
Yeah, I think that just to add on to what you're saying, the recognition and realization that love is a learned emotion. It's learned. It's taught to you one way or the other, through your education, through your experiences, through your relationships, through your efforts. You learn what love is. And so once you can accept that love is learned, it's not a concept that's on the shelf or something like that. One size doesn't fit all. It may feel like reality, but actually it's very relative, right? And so if I can accept that love is learned, then I can remind myself to keep learning, take opportunities, it involves risk. You have to be open to opportunities to love in a greater capacity, or to love differently. And so one of the things I'll do in coaching to help people to understand different types of relationships and different opportunities for love is to break it down into a quadrant where it kind of talks about, you can have love through courtship, which is the most common. It's like, oh my God, she's amazing. That's courtship. It's a feeling you may not be able to explain, but it just comes over you and you're just overwhelmed, and you can be around them all day, not necessarily doing anything, just something about you, your hair. Oh my God, who are you? That kind of thing. That's courtship.
Must be the hair.
Right? And so then you have partnership, which is totally a different type of relationship, but it is also worthy of love, where together I just love our potential. The things we could build, the things we could do, it's so exciting. And then you have companionship, where we love to do the same things together. I play video games, she comes down, she's right next to me. I watch football, she loves football, even though I realize she didn't watch it with me. But she's here because she loves the sport, right? That passion that comes with, we just do the same things. And then finally you have what we call inspirationship or mentorship, where it's like, in our relationship, she inspires me to be better. And she gives opportunity for me to also provide inspiration. Those are 4 different types. When I'd have clients do an inventory, where do most of your relationships, most of them are all in courtship. They're all looking, they had a feeling and they're looking for that feeling again. Even though there's no possibility of us ever building anything together because we're at each other's throats. Or the things I'm most passionate about, she actually despises. Right? Even though we don't do anything together as far as companionship, because I've got friends that I do that with. As a matter of fact, I'd rather she just stay out of that altogether. And even though there's no room to inspire her and there's no capacity for her to inspire me, I believe I'm in love. So what I believe love to be is strictly based on attraction. Think about how limiting that is and how that can play out over time in life. As we get older, we change. Now, the basis for this relationship is starting to come apart at the seams, and we lack the elements that would allow us to continue to move forward. So we actually have developed an app that we're about to launch to help people to engage in relationships differently, to look for relationships based on those qualities, so you can know what you don't know, to actually experience it. What if I've never really had a partnership, inspired relationship, and you haven't either. So now we get to talk about that, and we connect on that level. And from there, we can explore some of the other opportunities, but we recognize this is what we're centering this on, what else is available to us. It's just a totally different way to think about relationships and about to kind of assess the relationships you've been in and the relationships you want to be in as you move forward.
Vince, where can we find that app? Because I'm quite frankly tired of my Hinge.
I was about to say, I need that app in my life.
Well, it's actually called Intelidate.
I wish I had my notebook.
And I'll give you the info, but we're actually having a launch party for it on the 13th, the day before Valentine's Day.
I think I received invitation. I will invite you guys. We can go.
Why invite him ourselves?
Exactly same. I invite myself.
Something I wanted to mention really quick before I bring it back to Lina for something that you said is crazy to me in my mind when I look at myself before, in the middle, and after today, nowadays. I used to be so closed up in a closet where I thought that in order to feel the maximum amount of love, you have to feel it through romantic relationships. For many years, I thought that to my adult life. And in the last 5, 6, 7 years, I noticed that there is times that I have experienced friendships that are as strong or more than some romantic relationships that I have, where I love, where I actually have good experiences. So I'm not talking about bad romantic relationships. And it's incredible to me that nowadays I can have the heat of love, right? That is strong, that through relationships that have nothing to do with that core romantic way. It's just different relationships. And friendship for me has become one of those top relationships.
Absolutely.
And love.
And I just think that we probably need to do a different podcast about friendships, because I think that we all talk about how it's difficult to create friendships nowadays because we are just so connected but so disconnected at the same time. I'm going to put it on the back burner because we will have a podcast about friendships. But now I want to bring you guys back to love and relationship. And so do you guys think that depending on the age we perceive love and relationship differently? Because we're just all talking about like the journey, how we arrived to where we are, and now we are also wise here, talking about how fantastic we are, yet we are all single here. So how did that happen? Maybe we need to start loving ourselves so we can love other person. Maybe that's where the journey is. At the same time, I think with the exception of Paris, we all have kids here, and our kids are more or less the same age. So but you know my daughter more than anybody else. Like she I think like you're a second mother to her now. So she talks to you probably more about certain things than she talks to me. But when we see our kids right now with the age where they are all going to college at this point, finishing high school. Did you guys see them differently experiencing relationship than how we used to do it when we were in high school, college?
I think that the environment is different, like back in 19 boom when I was, young love.
Boom.
You know what I mean? Not to give a date or anything like that.
Let's keep it boom.
But, everything was more like in person up front.
Right.
And so love was the idea of love was a very tangible thing. And if you were disconnected over distance, it was like, how do I go on? They used to write songs, like, I guess that's why they call it the blues, because you were separated by distance, because love was, who you're with, who you spend your time with, and time together was a big part of it. I think a lot has changed in the environment, just like we attribute likes and loves to social media, like, oh, they love me. No, they clicked a button. That's not love,
Yes.
And so they have a different scale for how they measure love, to the point of you didn't like my post, you don't love me, right? Or you didn't accept my friendship, or we don't have a relationship on Facebook, we don't have a relationship.
You don't follow me.
You don't follow me, right? What is that about? What
My mom would say, "What is your caption?"
Right. So, and I'm not making light. It's just a different time. I'm sure that generations before it was a different time then too, but they do look at it differently. I'll say this one piece, and then I'll go to the rest of the panel. You mentioned, being by yourself, but understanding self-love. I think self-love allows you to be by yourself and to be comfortable in the space that you're in, like to be totally alone and yet enjoy the company you keep, just being with yourself, just doing what you do, right? Because it takes that amount of awareness, appreciation, and discipline to say, I value my time too much to waste it. Whereas a younger approach might be, go out as much as you can, meet as many people, fill up that space. You can't deal with that void. If I wake up at 2 a.m, what's open? Where can I go? What can I do?
Yeah.
No, I'm all right.
I remember that version of myself. Trust me.
Yeah, just out. For what reason? Now it's like, I gotta have a strong reason to go out. Like, where we going? When we coming back? How we getting there?
Who's driving?
Before was like, I don't care. Let's go. So yeah, I'll stop there.
Right.
So I agree. Our children, or my son is 21, and their generation see love in a different way and a different scale. However, one thing that I do love is that our kids right now have a lot more information on what love is, the different type of loves that I had when I was 21. First off, you're taking me down memory lane with all these stories. So I was seeing myself there as well. So I was going down memory lane. But my son today, your daughter, your kids, your future ones, if you ever have, will have a lot more information on what healthy love is than I had. Because all the information that I had about love growing up was, when are you going to be a good wife?
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm not, this is a little bit humor in the middle of the conversation, but that really was what measure how much love you had in your life, how good of a wife you're going to be. That's the culture that I come from. And my son does not measure the love he has in his life right now based on how good of a husband he's going to be, which is really healthy, because our generation of children right now know what self-love is. Loving life, loving different things and aspects outside of just that attraction and that romantic love. And I love that for them.
I agree. And you and I, we were talking about this a lot,
Yeah,
right?
because, okay, if I want to talk about the love for new generation, it's really changed. It's really changed. When I look at myself, because always I'm be with people older than me, my best friends always be older than me. And because of this, since I was kids, I experience love. I see the experience, the people around of me in the love older than me or my age. One of the things I'm still thinking, just like you say it, Dasha talked to me, because I still remember myself when I was 16, 17, 18. One of the things, the relationship first is going to change with the parents. Okay, everything is going to change for us. And always I told to my mom, I wish you be my best friends, not be worried about me. You should let me, I experience that love is coming. And when I talk with Dasha, she's younger than me. She could be my daughter. But when she's talking and I say, oh, some of part of the love, no matter the culture, language, we feel it as experience, that experience come to us as a human. And I say, oh, I remember myself, and no judging. And I talk to her easy, because I don't want to say I'm not worried about her, but I want to say, I understand you. I've been exactly same page you are in. I understand you, what you're feeling, you have it. But a little is a different now, just like you say it. The time, okay, I never had the opportunity, social media, reading, or I had some book, okay, like that. But now it's different. They are very different. They, just like you said, they are more mature. They more talk, and they don't have a fear. We have it for sharing. One of the things I love about the new generation, they share. They share them tough more than I remember. For me, always I keep it because of this. Now I start working on my childhood because I want to find the love. I want to find the relationship. I want to find the good friendship. But they share more. But it looks they don't share it. When you look at it, you say, okay, they don't know, but they know.
They know.
Oh,
They
know.
read more. They know. I'm talking with Tasha. I say, I cannot understand you 16 years younger than me.
And you know.
Yeah, I feel okay, I'm comfy. Okay, let's talk with each other. And I say, okay, because they know.
Yeah.
And
I think we're a part of that, you know, like as parents, we gave more, you know, again, love is learned. So it's not just the models and the messages you receive, but then your path, your experiences. When you start adding on your experiences, when you start teaching your children, you're like, well, you know, I'm not going to do what my parents did and tell you, don't fall in love, don't bring no women, don't bring no men to my door. You know, who is this guy, right? Because I know what I was doing. You know what I mean? I knew I was climbing out the window.
What were you
Don't
doing,
climb out
bitch?
the window. I bring them in the front door. Let me meet them. Let me, you know. And so we were more open to that. And then they do have a lot more resources. My fear is that we have to continue to keep contributing to that generation because there's still a piece that only we can offer.
Yeah.
Right, because the rest of the modern day world doesn't really show you that particular pitfall or that particular priority, right? Like there's something that we owe them that we can't allow in some cases, maybe we have an inability to relate. We can't allow that to dictate our ability to exchange and to help them along the way, because although they have a lot more resources outside of messaging and modeling, they still need our model and our message. They're still learning from it every day.
Yeah.
A lot of single parents are modeling behaviors, and that's a conduit for them. Now, what are you teaching me about love? What are you teaching me about self-love? I see the sacrifices you make. I see you crying at night. I see you, you pour yourself into a bottle every night. What are you telling me about self-love, about self-awareness, about self-discipline, about self-appreciation? So that's my only concern. I'm happy for them that they're not as restricted as we were, and they have avenues upon avenues to learn. But the cautionary tale is that we're still involved, that we're still helping, we're still mentoring, regardless of whether your kids or someone else's. Sometimes someone else can talk to your kids and reach them in a way you can't. Making those moments possible. Sorry.
And the love relationship that we have with our children, at least in my case right now, is way different than the love relationship that I have with my parents. My love relationship with my parents was respect. That was it.
That was it.
No more affection, respect.
Yeah, you want to see love?
You just it
Just
was
look at the
respect for
lights.
your parents.
See the lights on?
Did you eat today?
Did you eat?
Okay, so then that means that I love you.
See the roof? Is it raining outside? But is
That's
it raining
it. But
in here?
nowadays,
Maybe because
I
it was
love.
their language for
That was
love.
their that's
They
that was their
didn't
language
know.
they were taught.
Yeah, they look at the love like that.
But now we have a different love relationship
Yes,
with our
yeah,
kids, and I'm glad that we do.
Yeah.
We can be talking about
And
love
that's-
forever,
and that,
guys.
And I want to bring us back to social media a little bit, because this is something that we didn't have. Our kids have. Oh, we have it. Vince just launching a new
The
app that we are all
That
now
we are all already
all
waiting
going
for.
to. So all leaving Hinge going to Vince's app. So, but guys, so do you think it's helping us, social media and all the dating apps? Do you think it's a positive in our love and relationship ventures?
About the social media or
On the
dating
apps.
apps? Both.
Both. What do you think?
Okay. It's
I
just-
think yes and no. No, I'm going to start from the negative. No, because right now I do believe there is a lack of commitment in a way where, oh, you pissed me off today. Let me go next, right? It's like a really quick, we don't have any tolerance for anybody's mistakes that they might make. Like, there is not much commitment because the quickness of social media. Okay, I'm going to the next. It's really quick. You don't even have to get dressed, do your hair, put on your makeup, go to dinner. No, you can just let me see, next. So that brings a little bit of that impatience to work on things.
Yeah.
I think they can be overwhelmed with options.
Yeah.
Basically
Too many options, maybe.
There were the girls in my school and the girls in my neighborhood. That was it. Now I could look at city by city. I can go to South Carolina and just log in and swipe.
So,
right? And then that's going to give me a connection, but it doesn't give me the tools. It doesn't give me the self-awareness, the self-appreciation, the self-discipline it takes to love. And depending on the app and whatever stigma comes with that app, you're looking to hook up. When you swipe right, you're trying to hook up. You swipe right, you're looking for the partner for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
You swipe right, so what are you signed up to? What are you putting in it? Is the information true?
Yeah.
The catfish is a real fish out there. And so people out there are, so you got to think about what you're relying on in the place of actual human interaction.
Okay, one thing. I'm agree and I'm not agree. Both. Because, when I go out, I would love met the person out. But now, the man, they don't want to come talk to you because of just an app is more easy, talking or chatting. Or opposite, sometimes when they come and talk to me, because I never had the experience for a long time, I'm getting nervous. I'm be like that. No, I don't want to talk. But because it's more easy talking on the phone because how can I say, we are not anymore responsible about our feeling or we are taught.
Right.
When we talking, we say everything's in the chat, and sometimes, okay, we disapprove. No matter. I don't want to explain anymore. But I believe now I'm living in because now I'm back to honestly dating. I said, what's going to happen? Because how can I meet the people? When I go out, it's like that. I have a social media. How I have to use it in the positive way. Okay, I'm look at it because when we start to conversation, sometimes we can understand some people how it's gonna be or not. But it's look like the shopping. We have to just move fast until maybe you met the person. And sometimes it's very tough because for me, honestly makes me tired. I wanna, because it's a lot of energy. How I have to meet the people. Okay, I'm alone. I don't have nothings. Okay, I have to use social media. But this is for me because I just like in the time, that time no social media. In the college, I met my ex-husband in the college like that. No option a lot. But now, nothing. And okay, this is something in a different part of 2 generation. And I'm trying to update it. And I met a lot of people here. They actually married. They married in the app. They find the person they wanted. But all of them, they say, okay, you have to just move fast. When you see the person has a red flag, or some people, they are very attractive, or do you want to, oh my God, just like you said, it's amazing. I want to go it. But you know it doesn't going to work.
Right.
You have to stop it here. And I say, okay, this is a stop. I'm going what I want. Back again, but it's very tough, and I couldn't find any.
Maybe your app will bring us because I'm back to date this year again.
Take a lot of pressure off of the dating aspect, and it just puts you in a get to know stance. But then again, so I think one of the key distinctions between social media and dating apps is, if you get pinged on social media, it's like, what is this? It's creep? Is this a because it's like someone's looking for you when you're not looking for them. And that feels
it's like somebody looking through the window in your house, and you're like cooking dinner, but they're watching you, right? I do believe that the apps are a help. I'm a big always. I think that technology is there, and it can help us. And it's not technology what it makes our relationships fail. I think it's humans that use technology in the wrong way. I do believe that maybe now, like I mentioned before, there is more commitment issues because there is more options. I do believe that. However, I do know a couple of friends that met each other in social media that nowadays the people that commit, those commitments are for a long time. They are strong because and I always go back to our theme today, love in different cultures, right? Me growing up, everybody got married. Like out of my school, 40 of us graduated, so 40 of us got married.
Yeah.
Right? And now, and sometimes with people that really you just have to get married, it's like, hey, you're 24, what you're waiting for, right? That was the pressure in my culture. I don't know you guys, but in my culture, that was the pressure. Now you can be 24, 34, 44, or 50. You don't have that pressure. So when you do commit, it's because you really, really find that connection. And for that, I do believe that technology and apps are a good thing for us, because the relationships that come out of it are more maybe genuine than they were when I was growing up, where you were like just looking at the time, hey, what are you doing at 23? You're not married.
Yes.
So I'm going to say yes to the apps, to Lina's question. I'm going to say yes.
So I just want to say, so when we say, okay, you can be 24, 34, 44, 54. I'm good. In many of those cases, people are using apps to outsource the portions of relationships, and they spread it out over many interactions. And therefore, they don't feel there's a need for commitment. Like, so there's nothing compelling you to really be faithful. Why buy the cow if you can get the milk for free, type of thing? These apps afford you access and opportunity to get the things you would get. If I want to go on a date, I can just swipe right and go on a date, and I don't even have to worry about calling you the next day. That's cool. Like, you're all right. What? Because I can just go back to the app and swipe right again. And so what I'm not developing the skills I need, or the identity or self-love I need to be functional in a relationship. And then when you get committed, do you have what it takes to keep it going? Because you've never really had to go beyond first dates. And that's what in years of relationship coaching, I see that a lot. Like, you're struggling dating because you've never gotten to know yourself over time through the reflection of someone else.
Yeah,
But that has nothing to do with the app.
And that's bringing me to my next question, what I want to review here, because all of us guys, we come from different cultures, and all of us were in a relationship, whether marriage or not marriage, but we were in a relationship with our significant others, partners from other cultures. How was that experience? Because again, I want to bring us back to where we started this conversation: diversity in the concept of love, diversity in the concept of relationship. So, was it complex? Was it fun? Was it adventurous? Was it a spike?
For me, it was fun.
Yeah.
I actually think that being from different cultures is what it attracted me to that person in the first place. I was curious to see, oh wow, so you do this different, and you guys you don't eat this? What? You don't have this? It was like such an interesting learning path, that being a different culture is what it at first got me interested. And throughout the years, I believe that it was very enriching for the both of us. Until today, I can say that regardless of the relationship, part of it, the cultural interchange was really enriching to this day today, and I'm thankful for that. So for me, it was more positive than negative when it comes to the cultural interchange.
Yeah, for me, same, because I grew and raised in a different country. Whole my life, I speak Farsi until 31, until I moved here. And I never met people from different country or culture or different language. Everybody around of me, from the people from my country, same culture, same language, same anything. It was same until I moved here. And I brought to myself, I met a lot of people here, the first, from different countries, just like Elena, speaking different language, or growing the completely different culture. And we start to communicate with each other. Most of them, they be very patient with me because I couldn't speak English. Nothing, just like her. She's really patient with me. And I start to find the friends or connection with the people. Most of my best friends from different culture. She's from Russia, another I have from Sudan, Kenya, different. And I understood all of the people around of the world, we have a very similar, just like Spain, you say it. I have a lot of Latino, Spain, Brazilian friends. We have a very same background of the culture, as in the love or marriage or communicate with each other. And I was thinking, how is like that? Maybe it's the experience as a human. Always we had it. Here, my best friends, I talk to them. Sometimes they say, okay, she's from different cultures. I say, I cannot feel it. I cannot feel it because I feel that person just thinking like me about the dating. Okay, I never go date with the man from different country. I'm start to go dating with the man from different country. They talking. And I say, oh, all of them, they think same. The man. At the end, no matter the culture, no matter the age, no matter the language, they have a lot of something same. And this is okay, part of the human, we have it. Or I don't know, sometimes it's not, I don't want to say it's a social media, because I have a friends here, different age. I have older than myself. I have some clients, they are very old. I can be just like them granddaughter. I talk to them as a mom. And I say, why? How? And that's, I think, change everything for me. I think all of the people around of the world, they have it as part of the similarity. And I believe it. If we just connect each other, understand each other, no matter what is my language, what is my skin color, what is my background, just accept me just like who I am. Okay, I think the world is going to be in the peace. Because understanding is not easy. One of the problem in the relationship, I'm going to dating just like she said, is a patient and understand.
Yeah.
No judgment. We just fast, we want to move. Yeah, I know it's not easy. Okay, finding the match with someone. I'm 34. Okay, I want to go date. I have to go with the person just like me, or 40, or 20, 38. Okay, most of them, they learn how to live by themselves. And know, okay, for them it's easy. Okay, leave it. We go back because we don't want to be patient or understand each other. Just like another you say my friendship is my priorities, because in friendship you never scare Elena gonna leave you. You be like that, Elena just act.
It's
just
funny
like for
because
me.
I never even thought about
Exactly.
that. I haven't even
Same,
think about that.
Same with my friends. I never feel, I say everything. If I'm mad, if I'm tired, I never want to think, oh, she's gonna say, okay, you cannot be anymore my friends. I don't have that fear. And for me, okay, now I'm looking relationship as a friendship. The person can be my friends. That's gonna work. Because in friendship, I understand no judgment. Just love and peace. Or patience, just like she was patient with me. First I met her almost 3 years ago. I couldn't speak. She never say, okay, she asked me, she opposite, come over, let's go out. Introduced me to her family. And says, you part of my family, supporting, call me, are you okay? I remember first time when she sent a message to me, I have to use the translate what she's saying or answer to her. And that support, it's a love.
Yeah.
Change me, honestly.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, and I believe if we just gonna in the relationship we have just like a love like that, understand each other. Okay,
Yeah.
the relationship is gonna happen.
We
It
talk
definitely
about
does
different cultures and love, but what I see here from all of us is that the way love feels is the same.
It's human.
Yes.
It's human.
But
What do you
sometimes
think,
the
Louise?
path to that feeling
It's
is so
It's
much
different.
different.
So
It's
much
a
different.
Exactly.
So one of the things that I think is when you meet someone I'll start from the beginning. When you date in your universe, you have the same experiences, same neighborhood, same language, same everything. There's a lot of room for assumptions. Matter of fact, some would always say that goes without saying. Like I shouldn't even have to tell you that, right? But you don't get that once you start dating and across cultures. You have to slow things down.
Yeah.
Really take time to understand. You can't make the assumption, well, you got what I meant. It's like, wait, maybe, okay, what did you think I said? Like what did you hear when I said that, right? It allows you to slow things down, and it provides a reason to do so, whereas you may not have had that reason in other relationships. I think that's very beautiful about those. I think also the ability to inspire. Remember, I talked about inspirationship and mentorship. Like, you open my mind to a different type of music, to a different location in the world, to a different food, to different experiences,
different way of thinking.
different way of thinking, a different way of loving.
Yeah.
Right. All of those things, right, based on where you are in life, that becomes pretty significant. Like life altering. Like I love that. So to answer your question, I have nothing but positive to say about, diversity in relationship. Like, just to open your aperture, you're giving yourself an opportunity to learn things about yourself you wouldn't otherwise even know.
I'm gonna go a step even farther. I'm even loving myself more because how much more open-minded I am that I was 20 years ago. If you met me, how little or to nothing I judge people nowadays. Thank to those intercultural relationships. I date like you. My life, everybody was from the same city, the same culture, the same almost last name. I mean, it's like everybody that I met, girls and guys, like we both were having the same cookie cutter mentality, and open your mind and your heart to to love from a different culture or race or nationality or ethnicity or beliefs, for me has been such a amazing, enriching journey where I love myself now, partly because of that, because I'm better to people, I'm better to my friends, I'm better to everybody that I meet, and I understand and I accept people for who they are, versus meet Amparo 25 years ago, and I was very much more judgmental than I am today.
And guys, I know that we are coming to the end. That was such an inspiring conversation. I really love talking to you. I think we will need to do another podcast then about friendship, because I really enjoyed chatting with you. I do want to answer one question to Vince, because I know it's a Valentine's Day, and not everybody is going to have a date on this day. Vince, for those of us, I'm not to put you on spot. Not to put you on spot.
What camera am I looking at again? Okay, no.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
For those of us, well, like I said, not everybody is going to have a date on this Valentine's Day. There are quite a few of us who are single. You're going to be talking about your app that you are opening this year, and also those of us who are struggling to start a relationship or struggling with the concept of love. If you are to give an advice today, what that would be?
We're listening. I'm one of those.
Yeah, I'm
Okay. So, I guess I could just Google the history of this whole Valentine's Day. How it got to be such a thing where you need where'd you get that from, right? It's a day, you know? We've already gotten past Christmas. We've gotten past, New Year's. It's a day in February. And so if you have someone to celebrate it with them, but do it according to your relationship. Don't go all out and buy $4.5 million worth of flowers and roses when you don't have $4.5 million of investment or return on investment in a relationship. Do it appropriately. And there's nothing that says, counter to what the culture's telling you, there's nothing that says you have to do it on that date when the prices are the highest, right? But come into agreement, have conversation. How do we want to spend this together, right? A lot of people don't invite that opportunity. Do that. If you are single and you're thinking, I got to find somebody, this is not the prom.
A lot of people feel that pressure.
But we're not talking about the prom. A lot of people go to the prom by themselves too. You have to learn to love yourself enough to know that it's okay. It really is. And there are plenty of singles events for people on Valentine's Day. So instead of wasting your time with someone who you know you don't love, maybe take an opportunity to step outside and do something that might give you a chance to meet the person who you could.
Take yourself out on a date.
Yeah.
Or go on a date with your friends for
Yes.
Valentine's.
yeah. Still we have a 2 week.
Well, thank you very much for joining us on this Connected Conversation episode. I really enjoy having this conversation with Paris, Amparo, and Vince. Thank you guys for driving all the way to DuPont Circle. We'll see you next time. Thank you for tuning in into Connected Conversation. We truly value your feedback and would love to hear from you. Please let us know what story you would like to hear next. Share your thoughts in the comment section. Let's keep the conversation going, and let's continue to inspire each other. Let's stay in touch. Thank you.